Hi guys, this is Harish Kumar Reddy. Welcome to DevOps. Today, as so far we discussed about Ansible introduction and we seen so far installation process. Now today I'm trying to discuss about the Ansible will operate in two ways, guys. That is ad hoc commands, and we are working with playbooks. Okay. So basically, if you're working on ad hoc commands, definitely we are working on single commands only. But coming to playbooks, we are working on Groovy source codes, guys. That is GSC. Okay. So we are working with, so basically in Ansible, we are working with the playbooks. Okay. That playbooks will come a picture of until we already installed the Python in Ansible, so that we are trying to execute the Groovy codes. Okay. As per the scenarios. Okay. So now we'll try to discuss very important topics in Ansible configuration. That is, we are working on ad hoc commands. So in this ad hoc commands, we are working with single or one or more commands. One or more commands. Okay. So here we need to go with some important models, guys. What are the models here is we need to work on the command. Command stands for this model is trying to execute the basic level of the commands under the managed nodes. Okay. Whatever I told you that regarding the architecture of Ansible, that will be replicated here. Okay. So coming to shell. Shell stands for this will be execute under the commands. We are trying to go with redirection under the pipeline execution. Okay. So pipeline execution on the scripts on the managed nodes. Okay. Now, so this is what we are trying to go with shell. Shell is nothing but it's a protecting layer for the Linux, that is server. Okay. Now coming to ping. So ping stands for it, whether your server is actively working or not. Actively working or not. For this, we are trying to go with the ping command. Okay. So now coming to user. So we are trying to create a users and we are trying to creating the setting the passwords. We are trying to assign the directories for the users. Okay. That is called a user. Coming to copy. Copy stands for we are trying to copy the files and folders. We are trying to work on the managed nodes. Okay. Coming to fetch. Fetch stands for we are trying to fetching the files and folders under the controller. Next, we are trying to go with stat. Stat stands for it's a file detail information about the files and folders on the managed nodes. Okay. Coming to debug. Debug stands for we are trying to display the output of any module. I can display the model of any model. Okay. So now coming to APT. APT is the data center where we can perform the different types of softwares and we are trying to go with upgrading the particular software. That is called APT. Okay. Next, YUM. YUM stands for it's a Red Hat model. We are trying to go with CentOS, Red Hat. These are different types of flavor connection under the Linux administrator. Next, coming to Git. So I'll tell you what is Git. Git. I already told you. I already told you that is Git, and we are working on task-based operations. Please try to refer my previous video. Git is a centralized version control system where we can try to go with different types of version, updating the version. That is VSC. Okay, that is version control system. Okay, so that is comes a picture of distributed and centralized. Okay. So now coming to replace. Replace stands for we are trying to replacing the old content and new content. That is called replace model. And next we are trying to go with service. What is meant by service here is service stands for we are trying to go with starting and stopping and restarting the services. That is called service. We are trying to work on the managed nodes. Coming to next one is include. Include stands for we are trying to work on the child place. We are working on the child place and we are working with the parent place. Okay. So this is what we are trying to do. And next coming to URI model. URI model stands for we are working on useful information about whether it is working, whether your server is working or not. So that we are trying to redirect to the particular models. Okay. Next, we will try to discuss about Docker container. Docker container stands for we are trying to execute the source codes and we are trying to execute the part of containers. We are trying to work on the containers. Okay. So next we are trying to go with Docker image. So Docker image stands for we are trying to go with the images and we are trying to go with the managed nodes. Okay. So Docker login means we are trying to go with Docker Hub and we are trying to maintain the Docker Hub repository. And next we are trying to go with setup. Setup stands for we are trying to go with setting some information as per the module. Okay, these are the some important modules under the Ansible and we are working with the ad hoc commands. Okay, so now we'll try to go with syntax also. Okay, what is the syntax here is, see, if you're working on Ansible configurations, definitely if you're working on ad hoc commands, we are trying to go with Ansible all group name, IP address, following with the IP address. Okay, if you are trying to maintain the one command, if you want to write some command in ad hoc process, definitely we can try to use this. Okay, Ansible all group name, following with the IP address. -I stands for inventory path. Okay, inventory path of the file. -M stands for module name. -A stands for arguments. Okay, see, basically, if you want to write any data from your side, definitely we are trying to go with these command. This is static syntax. Static syntax. If you want to write ad hoc process. Okay, so static syntax. Okay, so now we'll try to execute one by one how we can work on the Ansible. How we can work on the Ansible. Okay, so for this, what I can do here is I was already done my Ansible configuration. Now I can try to execute some use case scenarios in an ad hoc process. Okay, it is reloading. It will take some time. Okay, now I want to start these servers. I want to start these servers. Let's go with start. Okay, so now let's go. So now I want to operate from the controller only, because as I told you that I worked successfully on the architecture. So I was done the installation part very successfully. So this is the controller. This is the controller. And these are the managed nodes. Server 1, server 2. Okay. So now I'm trying to go with the controller. This is a controller. Controller is also called as inventory file. Inventory file. Okay, so with this agent, so we done some agent also, right? So we have one agent here. This is the agent. We are trying to go with agent. Agent. In this agent, so this agent is trying to communicate with the server 1 and try to communicate with the server 2. Okay, based upon the private SSH. Based upon the private SSH. We are trying to work on the private SSH. Okay, so with the this is server 1, this is server 1, and this is server 2. Server 2. This is server 1 and server 2. Okay, so now I want, whenever I'm operating this controller, this server 1 will be replicated, this server 2 is also replicated. Okay, so now let's see the practical to understand this concept. Okay, now I can connect the server. Now I can connect the server. So where is my key file? My key file is download folder. Yesterday I was discussed this one. So wherever you have a file, please try to go there and you can try to execute it. Okay, let's go with enter. Okay, so let's go with yes. Connecting the server. Okay, my key file is not there here. Okay. Ansible. Okay, this is documents, right? Okay. Let's go with the right click on this. I'm connecting the server. Enter. So this is how we can connect the servers. Okay. So now my scenario is, how can you execute this file? So we are using ad hoc commands now. So I want to check the memory space. I want to check the memory space. Suppose I want to check the memory space of server 1, of server 1 and server 2. I want to check the memory spaces, server 1, server 2. Okay. So server 1, server 2 memory spaces. Okay. So I need to know this, because if I want to operate something in server 1, server 2, I want to check the memory spaces for this. Okay. So for this, we are trying to go with and so I want to check the memory spaces in all the servers, but I want to go with Ansible all. -I stands for inventory file. And in Ansible, whenever you're trying to take any backup session, definitely we are trying to go with etc Ansible host. Okay, etc Ansible host. Hyphen M stands for module, and we are working with command that is free. We are working with free command. With ad hoc syntax, we are working on commands. We are working with commands, enter. See here, successfully we done memory. So we are server one. This is a server one, and this is a server two. This is server one and server two. Okay, server one and server two. Okay. Now here in this we are trying to go with. So this is see here memory size is total memory size. This is total memory size. How much it is used? It is used. How much it is free, and how much it is shared, and how much it is buffering, how much it is available. Okay, everything will be different. Everything will be different. Okay, this is how we can do this. Now let's go with one more concept, how to create a file. So I want to create a file for the managed nodes. I want to insert file one file. So I want to insert both files at one time with help of controller. Okay, so now I can try to show you the checking purpose also. Now here we are trying to go with Ansible all. We are trying to use file touch file. We are using touch file. Let's clear the screen. Clear the screen. Okay. Now let's go with the paste. I'm trying to go with enter. See here, the file is executed. The file is successfully executed. Now I want to check the file in server. Like I can take one server file. I want to check the file in server one. See here, I'm taking private SSH. I'm going with SSH. I'm trying to take this private IP address. Enter. Enter. So now if I go with ls, see here, file one is failed. The file one is successfully executed. The file one is successfully executed. This is how we can create a file. Okay. In Ansible, whenever you are working with controller, definitely the file one will be replicated with the server one, server two. You can try to check any file. So it will be automated. It is completely like automated service. Okay. Now I want to install software, guys. Now I want to install Docker. I want to install one software. Previously, I told you that if you go with a manual for every system, it will take a lot of time. But now we are working with the controller. It will take how much time you can try to see now. Okay. So I want to install one software file that is Ansible all etc Ansible host. I want to install Docker. I want to install Docker. I want to install Docker. Okay. 1 minute, guys. So I want to back to my controller. I want to back to my controller. Let's go with exit. Let's clear the screen. Clear the screen. Now I want to install Docker. Okay. Installing Docker. I'm trying to install Docker. Enter. I'm installing Docker now. It will take some time. Yeah. So Docker is installing, guys. So it is taking some time because of loading factor. Okay. So Docker is installed successfully. Now, see here, while you've done the installation, so now you can try to check. It is taking some time, guys. Again, wait a second. Yeah. Okay. So now you can try to check whether you have installed successfully or not on your servers. So I'm trying to checking server 2 now. I'm trying to check server 2 now. Let's take private IP address. Take private IP address. Let's go with SSH. SSH. I'm trying to take private IP address. Enter. Okay. Now I can go with Docker hyphen hyphen version. Docker hyphen hyphen version. See here, Docker is installed successfully. Docker is installed successfully for me. This is how we can install the Docker in Ansible configuration. Okay. See, I just want to tell you one thing very clearly. See, whenever I'm installing in controller, it is replicated with the server 1, server 2 based upon the private SSH. Okay. So this is how we can try to install the Docker application. Okay. So now here, next one is we are trying to go with, so currently, suppose if I don't want a particular server, suppose if I don't want particular servers, currently I have two servers in my field. I have a two servers. I have a two servers currently. Okay, I have a two servers. See here. So Ansible host, I have a two servers. I'm trying to connect the two servers now. I can take this server one. I can take this server one. I can take this server one. Okay, and I can take the server two. I can take the server two. I can take the server two. Okay. Escape, colon, WQ, enter. Okay. Okay. It is not writing the, okay. Escape, colon, Q, enter. Okay. Done. So once you done this, now see here, I want to go with like particular server. I don't want all the servers. I want to go with particular server. For this, you need to go with Vim my inventory file. Vim my inventory file. My inventory file, go to insert mode now. You can collect private IP address from your side. I can go with server one. I can go with server one private IP address. Let's go with enter. Let's collect the, I want to collect only one server, guys, not all the servers. Okay. So I can take server two also. Server two also. Okay, escape, colon, WQ, enter. Okay, so then what we are trying to do here is I'm connecting the servers. Currently, I can go with my inventory file. So currently, I'm using my inventory file. Okay, okay, I have two IP address. Now I can go with Vim, my inventory, Go to insert mode. So please try to, if you want only one IP address, please try to go with this. Go to insert mode. So I'm connecting only one IP address, escape, colon, WQ, and okay. So now if I want to operate only one server, if I want to operate only one server, see here, I'm using my inventory. Ansible all hyphen I stand for inventory file. I'm using my inventory. Let's copy this file. You can try to paste. Enter. Okay. Let's go with exit, guys. Okay. You can collect one in one server, that is this server. You can collect this server. You can try to paste and escape colon WQ enter. Okay, so now we can. I was using this file. Only one enter. See, one file will be executed. So what about remaining file? It is not executing because of I'm using my inventory. Okay. So once my inventory came, only we are taking only particular files. If you're not using my inventory file, definitely it will go with see here, I'm not using my inventory file here. I'm not going with the my inventory file. So for this, you can try to see this. Okay. So enter. So only one. So if you're not using my inventory file, if you take automatic two servers, it automatically take the two servers. Okay. So this is what we are trying to go with my inventory file. My inventory file means we are trying to take only one specification, not other specifications. Okay. If you are not using my inventory file as per the scenarios, definitely we can use automatic default server will be created. Default server will be created. This is how we can try to go with the things. And one more thing, guys, if you're trying to assign, if you're trying to go with assigning anything as per your constraint level, definitely it will be follows. Okay, this is what we are trying to work on the progress, and we are trying to work on the progress based upon the scenarios. Okay, and this is what we are trying to work on the progress, how we can try to go with the scenarios, guys.